start the project, you're going to need a piece of Centura pearl, and I've got double-sided here, and this is measuring 8 1/4 inches by 11 3/4 inches. I'm going to use the inch side of my score master, and this is up against the box lid, and I'm doing the long side score first, and you're going to score at 2 3/4 inches and 5 inches, and then just do that score line, butt that up and do exactly the same again. So 2 3/4 inches and 5 1/2 inches. We're then going to turn it on its side and score again on the short side at 2 3/4 inches and 5 1/2 inches. Oh, that's moved, so do that again, 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to keep my scoreboard here because we still haven't quite finished with it, but before I go any further, I'm just going to take away this end panel, not all of it. I need the little tab to join together to make the tuxedo card to hold all our flowers. So at the moment I've just taken away that piece. Alright, now I need to make a score line from this point to the centre point. So as you look at the card, that is your centre, and we need to make a score line from there to there and there to there. Now the easiest way to do this is find a central point in your scoreboard. I've got 4. Drag that down, and then if you put the centre point you want on the 4 line, and then twist your paper or your cardstock so it marries up with what you've got down the bottom here. When you're happy with that, you then score all the way up to the top, so you've got a diagonal score on the 4 line. We need to do exactly the same on this side, but this time I'm going to just turn it this way. Again, I'm going to drag down from number 4, put this point at number 4, take it up to there, and then go all the way up. So now I've got 2 diagonal lines. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is to cut straight across at this point and up that diagonal line, and again on the other side. And then what I'm going to do is lay it flat out so you can see where the cut lines are. I'm not quite happy with that being straight. I'm just going to straighten that up a bit. That's it. So now let me show you on the board. So you've got a piece that's come from there, and a piece that's come from there, and a piece that's come from there. Okay, but don't throw these away because we're going to use these as templates. So let me put my score master out the way. Let's just do these score lines and burnish these and glue this so it can be going together. Okay, and then these 2 are going to come out on themselves. And again out like that, out to themselves. So you've got the 2 pieces like that. And then I'm going to glue this together with some tacky glue, so I've got a nice good grip. And just hold that down. I'll just put the tacky glue on there for a minute. I want to show you something else I've cut out of some scrap paper. Now this is just from some scrap paper of my Centura pearl, And I'll bring my ruler in just to give you some measurements. And this is measuring 6.5 inches. And I've gone up 1 inch and done a score line in at 1 inch on both sides. So that's your little flaps there. The highest point of this is 4.5 inches. So I've taken a piece of cardstock 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches, scored in 1 inch on both sides, and then done my diagonal line, because this is going to sit inside here to help to house my bouquet of flowers. Okay, so that's ready to go to one side. Now, I did say to you not to get rid of these scraps, because these are going to be our templates. These fit perfectly on that side and perfectly on that side, and they also fit perfectly on the inside. So these I'm going to use to create my templates for my mat and layer for my paper. So let me show you what I have done and what I mean. So these are my mats and layers. So this is my pattern paper I have picked already. I've already gone ahead and done one set. I need to do another set, and I want to show you how to do it. I've used the strips of paper out the sub box. These are meant to be for making flowers, but I've used them for my mat and layer because they look perfectly, and I've used some of my pattern paper. So in all, to do all your mats and layers for this project, you're going to need 2 sheets of your 6x6, and you're going to need 3 sheets of your plain paper or cardstock. Okay, so let me show you how I do it. So I'm only going to use one to start with. So of course we know that is the true measurement. I need to now make this smaller. So I'm just going to go in with a pair of scissors, and I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off. Now I'm eyeballing this, as I say, but if you feel you want to measure it perfectly, you can, or go in your paper trimmer, not a problem. So if I take that 1/4 of an inch off, and then I need to just take 1/4 of an inch off the bottom. Okay, that is going to give me my yellow mat and layer, the yellow plain card. So what I've done is, on one strip, I've penciled it in already. You can put this on your yellow strip here. Okay, and I just need to trim that bottom piece off there. And I've drawn round with a pencil, and you get one round that way, and then you get the other one round that way. And I just need to snip off that bottom piece there. Okay, so that's my other 2, because I've got 2 already. I need 2 more. Now I've got my diagonal pieces to do. So these are going to go on this side, and they're also going to go on this side. Okay, oh, what I didn't tell you was we've done our plain paper, we need to do our pattern paper. So I know that template is for my plain. I now need to make it even smaller to do my patterns. So again, I'm going in with my scissors, and I'm going to cut up another 1/4 of an inch and another 1/4 of an inch, because I know then that is going to sit nicely inside my cardstock. So on the back of here I've drawn my patterns, my 2 templates. I've already drawn that with pencil, so they need cutting out, that needs cutting out, and then I've got a piece here that's folded over that I've used already for the 2 corner pieces. So now to do the corner piece, this was the one I've been chopping my 1/4 of an inches off, and the reason I say 1/4 of an inch, you may ask, is so you have a nice 1/8 of an inch on each side. Gives you that 1/8 of an inch border, which I think is enough. Take your second piece, cut just a triangle off, Now we know that's going to fit perfectly on there, so we need to trim it down to give us a border. So again, I'm going to go in with a 1/4 inch gap, check that sits nicely, which it does. And what I've done on here is I've folded this in half, popped this onto here and cut my 1/4 inch gap. So that is my plane I need to cut out. I then need to cut another 1/4 inch off of my pattern paper. So again, I'm just going in with my scissors. You only need to cut one long side. You don't need to cut any more than that. If you just check it on your pattern paper that it's the right measurement, you've got that nice gap. There you go. I've got that nice gap all the way around. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is to bring in my flowery paper and draw myself 2 of these on here. So I get my pencil and draw these out. And then I need to get cutting so we can get these stuck down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get those cut out, and I've also inked the edges, and I inked my edges with the Harmony ink pads, and I've used the Honey Pot one. So I'm going to get these cut out, get them stuck to this stage, and then I'll come right back to you. I'm just finishing sticking my panels on. I've got them stuck on the, I'll move that up there, on the outside of my flaps there, and also on the inside and on here, and then let's stick the last 2 pieces on that inside there. I think the papers in the sub boxes are absolutely beautiful. They're just so lovely to use, and that's why it's quite nice to sort of make them stretch and get the most out of them. You know, you can make some fantastic projects with these boxes. I've really enjoyed playing with them. I'm sure you have too. I've enjoyed looking at all your creations and makes on the Facebook group, so it's lovely to see what you've been doing. So that one goes in there, so you can see now how the tuxedo card is coming. So it's all getting ready now for the main event, which is going to be these beautiful quilled flowers. So we need to add that extra panel which I created just here. So this is going to go on the inside of the project. Tuck that in there. It's going to go on the inside of the project there and stick on that back wall. So when we fold it flat, let me just bring it up a bit, hang on a minute. So when we fold it flat, it's going to look like that, but when it goes out, it's going to look like that. So it's going to be somewhere we can put all our flowers. But I'm picking yellow flowers here, so again I'm going to go in with a bit of this Honey Pot ink pad and just take off the whiteness from my Centura Pearl, so it's not too stark in the background where the flowers overlap. And I'm going to probably, I think, just do a bit on this side as well, just in case anybody has a little sneak peek to see how the mechanism was done. They can't catch us up because it's going to look so professional. Okay, so that's just taken that off, and then I'm going to stick this in place now and let this dry while we make our flowers. So to stick this in place, I'm going to use the tacky glue again. By using wet glue, it's going to make it a bit more substantial. Your tape pens are brilliant as well, the Crafts Companion tape pens, but if you haven't got those, go in with the wet glue. And I'm just going to have it, open it out while I tuck it in, if you're with me. So I'm just going to tuck it in like that and poke it down enough that we're going to be able to attach our flowers. Flatten it. Got a bit of glue there, flatten that, so when you open it up, can you see the effect you're going to get? You're going to see that arch, but rather than just having a band, we've got a bit more to add these beautiful flowers to. So rather than putting the flowers on long stalks, I can attach them straight onto my backboard. So, oh, that's come loose already. So let's just pop that in place and let that dry. See where that's come loose from. That's come loose from that side. Just want to get that all set so that tacky glue can take off while we make our flowers. Yep. So that's better. That's happy. I'm happy with the way that is. So let's get creating these flowers. Now, in your sub box, you have got lots and lots of pre-cut flowers, but you've also got these amazing dies. We've been given some quilling dies as well, which is great. So I'm going to use these for this project with a mix of some of the others. So I've taken a sheet of the paper that you've got in your quilling pack, and I've taken my large flower die, held it in there and folded it over, because I know with my Gemini I can cut, well, I know I can cut 2, you can possibly cut 3 strips at a time, but that will hold on there. I've also got my centre stamen, and I've got enough there because I only need one piece of my centre stamen. So let's get these taped into place and get them die cut out, and I'll show you what we'll do next. So let me just position these on my board. So just pop that onto there, and then I just need a little bit more tape just to hold this stamen die in place. I don't want it moving about. Okay, use your platform and we'll get that passed through the machine. Right, so that's gone through. Let's move all this out of the way. There we go, die cut beautifully. As you can see, let's pull that one out. There we go, 1, 2 of those. I'll take those apart. And 1 stamen. So let me just pop this all to one side because I don't need that at the moment. And then I need my red line tape. I'm using the Crafter's Companion red line tape here today. This is a thickness of 3 mils. Okay, so I've got the 3 mil size, and what I'm just looking for, I'll find it in a minute. I'm looking for my quilling tool. Oh, there it is. It's on my desk. It's here already. You even get a quilling tool in this set, so everything is here ready to go. I took my box on holiday with me, and I made some cards on holiday, and I really enjoyed it because I had everything I wanted in the box, just added a few inks and things, and I was ready to go. So it was nice that I could do some crafting while I was on holiday, while my son was playing golf, which was great. So tape on there. Now you see, I haven't actually added any tape to that end because that's where you start quilling. Alright, now let's make these look a bit more lifelike, because they do look, they're nice like that, but let's make them a little bit more lifelike. So again, in with my honey pot, and I'm just going to dab a bit of ink on the edges. And then we can start quilling our flower. So get your quilling tool and you'll see a tiny little split. Slide that in. get your first roll and then undo your double-sided tape. I like to take mine all the way off in one hit, and then just round and round. And what I'm doing is I'm twizzling with this end, and then this one I'm just guiding it so it's all straight and nice and tight, because the art of quilling is to keep it nice and tight just between your thumb and your forefinger. So that is going to give us the centre of the flower. Where this ends here is where you're going to then join that one, and again keeping it nice and tight. Got it nice and tight there. This is at the stage you could splay it out, and if you want to dab just the points of the petals you can, but it's just a beautiful daisy. And then just slide that off the end very carefully. I've done it really tight again, there we go. So if you look at the back, that's all nicely tight together, and then you've got your nice daisy there already. I've made some more. I've got some bigger ones that I've used from the sub box, using the actual pre-cut ones, and then I've made some more of these little ones as well. So I've got a nice selection there. So if I bring my card in, this is where I can start arranging them and getting them ready to stick down onto the backboard. So I'm going to start getting these ready to stick down, and I'll come back and show you what I've been up to. I started to stick all my flowers down, and I found the best way for this was to use my hot glue gun, because once you've got them in, they're in. You could use your silicone glue, but it will take you a little bit longer because things will move around. It'll just take a bit longer to dry. I pop my sentiment on the front there. When you're sticking your sentiment on, be careful not to, I haven't stuck this end down, because obviously when the project stands out proud, as in that sort of shape, it's going to tear off the front. So that is why I didn't stick that end down, I just stuck it as far as there. Okay, so that's all nicely 3D'd, and I've put obviously one of those gorgeous butterflies that just matches in beautifully. This time I haven't inked through over the top like I did with the other project, because I felt it didn't need it with this. This is a cleaner look, and I haven't actually inked my green leaves because this is a different colour green. I just felt it made the flowers stand out more. So if you look when it's open, if I show you sideways there on the camera, when it's open, you've just got that lovely 3D look there that just looks amazing, you know, to give as a gift. You know, say it's somebody in hospital, you know, you can't have fresh flowers in hospital, it's just great. But it's one of those cards that is going to be out for a long time. Folds flat if you do want to postage. The flattest it posts is that way. So if I show you sort of that side. And the thing is, we get our gusseted envelopes in with this sub box. And you're probably thinking, yeah, but Dawn, these gusseted envelopes aren't big enough for this. What I found I did was I slid my card in one. This is the 6x4 size, or C6 size. Slid all that in there like that into one of those. Just tuck that piece in there. Okay, so that's all in there like that. And then if you get your second one and do the reverse. So if I turn it over this way and do the reverse, a bit fingers and thumbs here. But if you do the reverse, okay, and slide that in there, you see how the two go over it. And then all you need to do is to put a bead of glue on the back there, and where you've got the gum bit on the front here, put some double-sided tape or a bead of glue, and you can use your gusseted envelopes. So you just need to put two together to use them for this project. Or you could make yourself a box on the Avella Boxer, you know, envelope. You could make one of those, or if you're giving it by hand. But you can quite easily go in the gusseted envelopes that we get in our collection. And then when it stands proud, a real mantelpiece, please. It's just going to look stunning. So it's a tuxedo card, bouquet of flowers. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Just a little bit different. I've actually popped one of the flowers there on the back as well. I hope you've enjoyed the project. I thoroughly enjoyed making it again. These boxes just keep giving, and there's just so many ideas you can do with them. Just don't make plain boring cards. Make something a little bit different. Make something like this.